Yahoo! Hello, everyone. It is I, your favorite leafy boy, Avery, and we are back to playing Honkai And today, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title. Thank you, Aventurine. We do have Phainon. Now, before we start pulling, I do want to say a few things just in preparation for the coming stream. Well, the one going right now, and some stuff for later on because my human is actually going on a vacation next week, which means there won't be a stream for at least 2 weeks, if not three, probably three. Now, I'm not going to promise anything. However, I do want to make videos for at least 2 weeks for Sundays. So, like 2 videos with Sunday releases, just so there is something for you to watch and see and anticipate, even if there is no stream coming up, which is kind of, you know, um iffy still, because for at least one video is probably going to be either the pulling session for Phainon that we are going through, and or well, that's the problem. I just started thinking, what else could I do? So the thing is, we are doing a polling session today, and we are guaranteed, if you have seen my latest video, which was released on this Friday, we did go on and try pulling for Hyacinth, but we did not get her. We did lose our 50-50 to Blade, which is arguably not great. However, Blade did get a buff. It was released recently. So I am actually thinking about leveling and building Blade as well, because I only have Facial as a wind character, DPS character so far. That is actually, strong. Well, define strong, because honkaistarrail does have a very big problem with power creep. And yeah, Facial, as strong as she was and is still, at the end of the day, a hunt character, meaning very single target. And right now, the game, no matter which game mode we are talking about, is very much focused on AoE content. Like, there's a lot of 5 enemy stages where Facial is less than optimal. And Blade does have a lot of splash damage, and with the buffs is becoming pretty strong from what I've seen so far, but I will do a little more digging and look into him and his potential new teams. But yeah, Phainon, on the other hand, does seem to be a really strong character so far. However, however, because there's a caveat to that as well, his best in slot teammates seem to be not yet released. There are rumors going around, and upcoming characters seem to be very much Phainon support coded. For now, his best teams are sustainless because he is going into like a special phase where he takes on the whole enemy team actually. And because of that, you don't really need sustain for your other teammates, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, so far he seems to be kind of undervalued because he cannot properly work with, you know, a proper team that supports him the way he needs to be supported. So, yeah. However, I do not have a good physical carry. I was pulling for Boothill when he was first released. We lost our 50-50. And I don't think we have other physical characters released since then, if I remember correctly, but that might be a stretch. And I am notoriously forgetting a lot of stuff, so who knows? Maybe we did get some, maybe we didn't. Probably didn't. I am sure we didn't. But yeah, I only have like two physical DPS characters. One of them is Trailblazer, who is, let's face it, not very good. And the other one is Luca, who is, again, let's face it, not great. Especially now with all the HP inflation that's happening in honkaistarrail when it comes to the enemies. So yeah, Phainon is a needed character on this account, as far as I am concerned. And it is my account, so it speaks for itself. Anyways, so yeah, that's how we are going with Phainon. We have a guarantee on him. The question is, how many special passes do we have to use to get him? And I'm not quite sure actually how we are doing on the records here. Zero. Zero into pity. We do have 65 special passes saved up and 2100 jades. So that's at least 75, if not 80. So we are around 80 pulls that we can do, which is nice because we do have Fate Gift happening with the Fate Grand Order collaboration that's going to happen in a few days. And we do get a free 5-star Hunt Light Cone if we do 200 total special fast warps, which is nice. It's nice. It's a little high, if you ask me, as a free to play player. I'm going to apologize in advance if I misspeak, if I like get tongue-tied. I am quite tired. I had a really long week. But yeah, it's a little high a number, especially with I didn't do calculations yet on how many free jades we get for events and stuff, but I'm I'm hoping that it was calculated based on like an optimal way for most people to get it. But who knows? We'll see when it comes down to it. So yeah, we do have 80 pulls to get our boy. But if we do go into pity, it's going to be very disappointing because, well, yes, we do have 16 days, but as I said before, I am going on a small hiatus from next week. That doesn't mean I'm not going to play honkaistarrail, but it's going to be limited for my phone because I will not be able to access my PC a few countries over. So yeah, that would be a little challenge for us. However, I will be participating in the events as much as I can and getting as many jades as possible and hoping the best to get at least Phainon. If not, Phainon and his light cone. Because as far as I know, he doesn't have many other good light cones. I mean, I've seen that the Herta shop light cone, destruction light cone, is decent on him, but yeah, his signature is his signature for a reason. So it's a big power spike for my boy, and I'm hoping to get it, especially after Castoris, because if you know, you know. We did get Castoris up to E1. We got very, very, very lucky on Castoris's banner. However, we did not have enough Staria passes, special passes for her light cone because, as I said before, I am a free to play player. Words are so hard. Words are so hard for no apparent reason. But yeah, I am a free to play player. F2P. I'm just going to say F2P from now on. So I am F2P, and because of all the character releases, I usually only go for characters, not light cones. But we did try to go for Castoris's light cone. We didn't get too far. As you can see, we are only 35 into pity, which is basically halfway there, if you ask me. And as far as I know, 80 warps is like a guaranteed 5-star light cone. Now, we do have to win and be lucky to get the actual light cone that we want, which is 75% drop rate, better than character banner. However, if we are going for Phainon, we still have a 50-50. Well, we don't have a 50-50. We got him guaranteed, but it's a 90 pity for him. And I've never went more than 80 when it comes to characters, and it's statistically quite hard to go higher than 80, even for characters as well. But I'm really hoping for an early Phainon so that we can have more funds for light cones. And I'm also very, very sad because both Ruby and Sunday are really good characters, and I do have them E0, and I don't have their light bones. But it would be nice to have either one of them to be, boosted a little, to have maybe their light bones or their I almost said equation. Why my brain is not braining right now. Maybe I should just start, but like Eidolon. Yes. So it would be nice because both E1 Triby and both E1 Sunday are really good, and their light cones are actually really good too. So yeah. Anyways, I've been yapping for quite a long time now. First and foremost, we do have 14 pulls on the standard regular banner, and we do have 7 points to go so that we can select one of the standard 5-star characters. Now I've been debating who am I going to select. One of the options was Himeko because I already have Eidolons on her and I did use her up until recently, but since I've got the Herta, well, she is underutilized. And I did see that Branya is a good supportive choice for Phainon currently, and I do not have a Branya. So we are going to be doing 7 pulls here, and I'm going to be choosing Branya here. So yeah, hopefully we do get some 4-star light cones or eidolons that we do need on the way. Or maybe a really lucky, cheeky 5-star pull as well. How are we doing on the records here? I do believe we did get a 5-star recently, so I'm not holding my breath. Yes, we did get Night on the Milky Way 8 pulls ago, so a 5-star is not really in the cards right now for us on the standard banner, but who knows? Okay, let's get into the standard pulls for now. That's nothing much, probably just a 3-star light cone. Yeah, it's blue. Shattered Home. I do not use 3 stars. That was kind of different. Maybe it's a 4-star? Because it wasn't full holographic. Or maybe I'm just hallucinating because of the heat. That might be it as well. I don't know if there's a difference between a 3-star and a 4-star, because I do know that holographic sheen or animation is a clear sign for a 5-star pull, but there doesn't seem to be a difference between a 3-star and a 4-star pull, as far as I can tell. But it has been a while since I had a 4-star, so it should be one of these anytime now. And I have not been counting, but I think this is the 6th pull that we have done. So I'm going to check real quick here. No. Yes? No. Not quite sure, but we do have 2 pulls left to do. Oh, this is going to be the 6th. Okay. And that's a 4-star. March! That's nice. I was not expecting March. Believe it or not, I do not have March on E6 yet. So that's a pleasant surprise for us right there. And our last chance for anything, but it's going to be a 3-star. Not great. But that's okay because we do have bonus rewards. And we are going to be selecting Bronya as our free 5-star character. Hold on a second. Excuse me, I had to cough. But yeah, we do get Bronya. So that's going to be 2 guaranteed 5-star characters for us this stream. And I am set to see that that's going to be our only ever freely selected 5-star standard character. Well, technically no, because we did get a 5-star selector when we had the new version come out, right? I think it was when the new version came out that we had a 5-star selector. Anyways, moving on to Phainon. Let's see how our luck fares. Wait, first and foremost, I do want to see the animation again because it's very cool. Let's go. Look at him. He's so beautiful. Love that. But yes, hopefully that gave us a little luck. And we do see a Phainon pretty early on. Let's go. First temple. No 5-star yet. And as always, I do not know who the 4 stars are on the banner. Good night and sleep well. Well, that is a light cone, so that's not on the banner, technically. I might just do what I did with the highest impulse and skip if it's not a 5-star. That was our only 4-star here. No, that's very sad. That's kind of sad. Very sad. Kind of sad. I don't know. Okay, so that's March. So we have a chance to get March Eidolons here as well. Tingyun. Tingyun, I heard, is a good free-to-play support for finance. So I'm glad that Tingyun is on the banner. She is E3 on my account, so 3 more Tingyuns would be great to have her E6. And Yukong, who I have no idea who is good with. I know she is kind of a supportive sub DPS, not like a proper support, but does have support capabilities. Anyways, I think we should get going on with these pulls. No 5-star. I'm not going to skip it because that's more exciting. For video content, that's March. That's nice. That's March and more Undying Starlight for us for emergency funds. I would like to see a Tingyun pop up as well. Maybe a double 4-star. That would be lovely. But no, we did get a March on the first place as well, so we will get an early 4-star on the next temple as well. And with an early 4-star in the temple, it is likely to get another 4-star Maybe. Good night and sleep well. I do not use this light cone. Why, game, are you trying to tell me something? Are you trying to tell me something with this light cone? I will have to check out what it does. And that's another single 4-star pool. That's very sad. 3 out of 3 have been 1 4-star. For every debuff the target enemy has, the damage dealt by the wearer increases by 12%, stacking up to 3 times. This effect also applies to damage over time. Okay, so this is a budget Kafka or Black Swan light cone, but I do not own either of them. So I'm not quite sure what the game is trying to tell me by giving it to me. But that's okay. I do believe in Phainon coming home early. And I do believe in getting a double 4-star. Tingyun, I am very happy about Tingyun. Let's go. Maybe another Tingyun in a few polls. It would be great to have her E6. Because right now I only have Sunday. Well, technically I have Bronya now. Hello, Marge. Thank you for... And we got 20 Undying Starlights and no Eidolons, so we did get E6. The last March 7th poll. So, that's more resources for our emergency fund here. And that was a double 4-star indeed. Thank you, game. But yeah, now I do have Sunday and Bronya. So I might not be building Tingyun to help with Phainon because we are close to getting Remembrance Trailblazer, who can give him better, I would say better, boost than Tingyun could. Because Tingyun could give him some energy and attack buffs. However, Remembrance Trailblazer gives him true damage, which is, in my opinion, a little better. So yeah, with Bronya and Sunday, I will probably leave Tingyun on the bench. For now, at least. But still no Phainon. And that is our 4th? No, this is our 5th temple. Maybe another double 4-star? Another double 4-star would be great. I would love that. Okay, that's a bunch of light cones as usual. Next one. Only Silence Remains is a light cone that I have leveled, but I'm not quite sure if I'm using currently. No, I'm not using. I'm using Swordplay on my Dr. Ratio, so we are getting into soft pity territory with this one because we are hitting 60. Still no Phainon. He doesn't seem to want to come home early, which is kind of sad. I am kind of sad because of that. But that's okay. We got him guaranteed, so I cannot complain. Another Tingyun. Let's go. We are one step closer to her E6. And then, this is going to be our number 70 here. Which does not give us a 5-star yet. Okay. That's okay. We are getting into soft pity territory here though. So after this, I'm probably going to be doing single pulls. Just to maximize Jade proficiency here. And another Tingyun! Let's go! more starlight for our emergency funds. And a Yukong. Let's go double 4-star. I'm very happy about that. Triple 4-star. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. That's a bunch of undying starlight for us. Thank you, Tingyun. I think Tingyun heard that I might not be building her with this rotation. And she was like, well, you know what? I'm going to give you an offer that you cannot refuse and come home and be E6 just so you have an excuse to actually build me. Crazy. But yeah, we did get E6 March. We did get E6 Tingyun on this banner, which is great because in the future, if we get more copies of them, we can get more starlight and more funds for our emergency starlight fund, which is nice. However, we are currently on 70, so we are going to be in the spirit of soft pity pulling singles. Let's go. 71, which is not a 5-star. 72, still no 5-star. So I'm just going to skip them if they are not 5 stars. 73 is not a 5-star again. 74, maybe? Still not a 5-star. But that's okay. 75 is going to be our Phainon. Yes! Let's go. The boy is home. There he is. Let's go. Welcome home, Phainon. I'm very happy, so very happy that you are here. Wait, just a second. No, that's not what I wanted to do. It's this one, and then I'm going to do this one, and sorry, I am trying to grab a snapshot of this just so I can do the, what, how do they say that, like the, I have no idea what word I am going looking for. But yes, I do want to share on Twitter that we did get the boy later on, so I just grabbed the snapshot of this beautiful boy who is currently on our screen right now. Let's go. I'm so happy. However, it did took us 75 pulls, which is in a sense nice because we did get 75 counts out of 200 for our free. Well, technically, if we have to use 200 wishes to get a light cone, how free it is actually. If you think about it. Especially with the fact that, it's a 75-25 in 80 pools, which technically never really goes beyond 70 to 75. Well, technically 65 to 70. So if I want to be a little too critical about this, It's not necessarily a great bargain, but it is a specific, very specific light cone for Archer, probably his best in slot. And we don't really have to pull for it because there is a chance. And we do get other characters or light cones that we are excited for in the process as well. So it's a little extra something something. But yeah. And now I did pre-farm. So I'm going to open up the team menu and we do have Phainon right here. We are going to enable team and I did pre-farm for him so we can easily, and that's Bronya as well. Hello Bronya. But I did pre-farm for him, so we in theory should have no problem leveling him up.
Golden blood will not flow in vain.
He has such a nice voice. That's very nice. I can see a problem
Golden blood will not flow in vain.
with our EXP books not being enough. And we do have to synthesize here, which is not a problem. I do believe we have enough. I'm just going over the top here so that we can later on synthesize some of the purple stuff as well. But yeah,
Golden blood will not flow in vain.
we might have a problem, a slight problem with the EXP books, but maybe not. And this is the point where we have to synthesize for the purple stuff. Let's go.
Golden blood will not flow in vain.
And that's level 70 for us, and hopefully we have enough EXP books for level 80 as well. One quick synthesis later.
Golden blood will not flow in vain.
We do have enough.
We will eventually become the flames that light up the new world.
We do have enough. And we do get some regular Staria passes with it as well. But he
My
is
childhood
home.
musings, huh? So naive.
So beautiful, so majestic, so lovely. I am so happy that you are here, my friend. And I believe we don't have a good light cone for you. For now, I'm going to give you something irreplaceable as a placeholder, because I am not quite using Destruction Trailblazer at all. So Phainon can hold it. It's not his best, but it is decent. And I do believe... Wait, is this not the one that I can superimpose? Should I superimpose it? I don't think it's worth it. If we are going for his light cone later on, I don't think it's going to be worth it for us to superimpose this one. Maybe if I get more of it later on down the line, we will be superimposing and maybe doing a damage test with it. But we'll see. That's amusing for future Avery. And I do believe we do not have good relics for him, so fingers crossed we have an easy time building him when it comes down to his relics. Let's see what we can get. Recommendations are skill and talent, and then ultimate, and basic attack, as far as I know, is the last one we should be spending resources on. So I'm going to go in this order: skill, talent, and then ultimate last. So this is going to be skill, and I did not do any of his weekly bosses, Echo Force, so we do not have the special materials dropped by those, so we can go up to 7, I believe, with the abilities only for now. Yes, I saw it. I saw the 3 materials popping up, so yeah, we can only go for 7 on his traces for now. But that is more than enough to start with. Let's go. Material synthesis. And then we are level 7 on these. And I do believe I can get level 6 with the normal attack. Which I did say we are going to... Hello? We are going to leave for the end. But seeing as I can only go up to level 7 with these and cannot really activate the bonus abilities, it's going to be, you know, a little more struggle until we can fully level up our boy. So what I'm going to do here is, I don't think I have either of these. And I don't really have an ideal team leveled up for Phainon.
Peaceful days are like breezes.
However,
carrying the scent
I
of weeping.
do not really want to like stay up too late right now. So this is going to be, I forgot to say, but this is going to be kind of a shorter stream. So what we are going to do here is, for one, I'm going to try to get these dailies done with, and that's going to help us farm for Phainon as well, because we are going to be doing some relic farming here. Current team is underpowered, not very surprising, seeing that I only have Phainon on this team right now. So we are going to be using Casteris as our Casteris, Maide, and Triby. Actually, Casteris, Maide, and Triby with the help of Gallagher to farm for our boy here. So let's see what we are up against.
Okay, is it coming?
We are going to be using... Wait, I'm not really sure if... Well, technically Master Volume right now is on 2, but the voice over is 7, so it should be decent.
Step up, let's see ya.
Life's like my friends.
And this is the part where I'm not really quite sure what to do. Because it's farming, it's a lot of, like,
Please
of the
cherish
same
this time.
thing over and
Embrace a
over,
new
and
life.
it's not quite entertaining to see. Like, grinding in a
Return
game
to
is,
dust.
Through my blood,
well, at least in this game, is not very
dying soul. Face me.
entertaining, and I'm not quite sure what to
Accept
talk
your
about.
punishment.
But yeah, I guess we can talk about Phainon here, because I do want to get the audio for speaking down as well a little, because it might be too hard to focus on, like, talking with it so loud. But yeah, I do want to hold out on Phainon, because while yes, I do want to build him, because he is a character that I was really quite excited for. At the same time, as I said before, from what I've seen, we do have characters coming up who are pretty much rumored to be his best supports.
Life's like a good my friends.
And in that sense, I am really debating whether or not I should actually go for Bronya when it comes to, leveling characters and stuff.
Not so fragile. Embrace a new life.
Because at the end of the day, would it be a waste
With me.
to build up Bronya and then, I don't know, in a patch or two, just kind of drop her because, a new character who is a better support for Phainon came up?
Return to dust.
Would it be a waste of resources? Is what I'm thinking. But at the end of the day, if I really do want to think about it, like, having a built-up Bronya is not necessarily a bad thing, because then it gives me a little more flexibility with my supports, and I can build up maybe more teams. Crit damage is pretty good on Phainon, from what I know. And there's like a pretty decent attack buff on this set as well. I'm not quite sure if this is going to work. Effect hit rate? He does not really need effect hit rate here, because he does not really have like a debuff to attach or something like that.
Okay.
But I'm going to consider it because it does have crit damage. But yeah, at the end of the day, building Bronya would
Good my friends.
be a waste of resources, but at the same time not really, because I could, in theory, use her as a support for one of our other teams, which
Not so
is
fragile. Embrace a new life.
quite nice to have that flexibility. Because while I do have most of the currently like strongest supports, it would be nice to have more flexibility and more adaptability. And maybe Bronya was someone that I did need on the account, but I never really saw how I could utilize her.
Return to dust.
So yeah, with the thing... What? So with Phainon being on the account and seeing him use Bronya as a support, good support, it might be the push that I needed to realize that, like, hey, yeah, Bronya is actually really good for us right here. And I do have her light cone because I did buy it for Sunday. Which, now that I think about it, like, is it rude for me to be using Bronya's signature light cone on Sunday when I do have Bronya? But to be honest, I don't have other light cones to use that would be better than Bronya's light cone for now on Sunday.
Embrace a new life.
So that's another thing. Like, light cones as an F2P is like the hardest thing to get. Like, I am not actively pursuing signature light cones, meaning I don't actively gain 4-star light cones either. Oh, the struggles of an F2P player.
Estimating us will cost you.
So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm not quite happy about, is the amount of light cones that I have. Because as I said before, with Phainon as well, HP would be decent on him because he does go into his special state. And he does need to be a little more tankier than usual. So I will consider this as well. And hoping for maybe a crit damage substat on the 4th roll here. Defense, on the other hand, is not quite what we are looking for. I'm looking for mostly crit rate with crit damage substats. But it would be nice to have some defensive stats as well, just so he's not, completely taken out when we are hitting the
Is it coming?
marks. What? My brain went blank right there with that statement. I have no idea what I just said. What I meant to say was we do need some defensive stats just so we don't completely get, bursted down when Phainon goes into his special state, where he is the only character on field for us.
Return to dust.
Can Netherwing actually get this part over with right here? It would be nice. How are we doing with... No, he cannot. Maybe the explosion, but I'm not quite sure. I don't think the explosion would have been enough.
Darkness with me.
But Trippy was enough. And we did get 2 pieces here, so that would be nice. HP, effect resistance, effect hit rate. This, if it rolls HP, would be a great piece for Hyacinth. But I do not have Hyacinth, so I have no idea why I'm thinking. That's one of the things that I usually do in my head. I go into little, like, side tangents. Like, if I had a character, this piece would be great on them. And then I realized that I do not have the character, so I don't really need that piece anyways. But this one's... I'm not sure. Not quite sure. Because it is a crit damage substat with a little effect resistance, which is nice, just so he does not get CC'd. But I will consider it, depending on how it rolls. Because if it rolls maybe crit rate, it would be nice for us. And we are kind of out of Trailblaze power here. but we did get enough for these. So I could get our dailies done. And we do have 4 days and 16 hours, almost a little more towards 5 days. But yeah, we do have 4 days and 16 hours until we get our free 5-star character in Archer from the Fate collaboration and a new Trailblaze Continuance, special Trailblaze Continuance releases with the Fate characters. I did talk about this before, and I did say that I'm not like a huge fan of the series. Like, I know Fate Stay Night is a really, I do believe it's another gacha game, and then it became an anime or something. I'm not quite sure. I should have done my research, probably. It would have been nice so that I can actually talk about it. But I knew of its existence before, and I talked about this before, that I knew of the Fate franchise's existence. Because I do believe it's a franchise at this point of time. But I'm not very knowledgeable about it. And because of that, I'm not quite, excited about the characters and the whole collaboration happening. So I'm not quite sure if I do want to go for Saber either, because I do believe we get Archer for free, which is nice. It's always nice to get free characters. I was very happy that I could, at the point where I joined honkaistarrail, I could still claim my free doctor ratio, and I'm very happy when I get even 4-star characters for free, because free eidolons, that's free resources for the account to get more options and choices for team building purposes, for progression. And it's nice, and I believe he is a hunt and quantum character, which is, I'm not sure if I'm very happy about. I love the hunt characters. Like, if you ask me my favorite characters, at least 2 of them are hunt, because I do love Danhang and I do love Dr. Ratio. He is very sassy, he is very smug, and he is very above you. And he does have a very interesting dynamic with both Aventurine and the Trailblazers as well. And it's very fun, so I do enjoy him. And I love Fei Xiao as a carry. She was one of my strongest characters until power creep hit. D Herta is an emanator of I forgot the name. What is the name? I do know it. I do know the thing. What is it called? Destruction. That's nihility. Both of these are nihility. What is the word? It's not coming up to my mind. Erudition. But yeah, so let's do a quick character review, account review here, because I do not want to like go on for too much longer. I am very happy that we got Phainon though. He is home, so it is only like a matter of time that I can farm up for his. Well, actually, let's do a little leveling up here. I believe his abilities are going to be, or his special state is scaled from his base speed, so I don't think this speed stack is going to be good for us or very much needed. But let's see how this one rolls. Attack, maybe. Yes, it is attack, so I'm going to equip it for now. Maybe if this goes crit damage. No, it went defense. Of course it goes defense. Everything goes defense. Except the ones that I want to go defense. This is the only one that I have right now, so. But I do not want to equip this on him. And this is an attack percent boot. Which is not great, but apparently is what is recommended by the game. So for now we are, well, technically just to have a 4-piece equipped on it. On him, I'm going to equip it. It's not great. It's not going to be great. I am pretty sure that the next 2 weeks, even when I'm out of streaming on vacation, I'm going to be farming for him because I do want him to be usable, and I do want him, well, I don't just want him to be usable, I do want him to be good. So yeah, I am going to be farming both relics and also planner ornaments, and also more jades for his signature light cone. Not quite sure how I'm going to go about it, but I will probably try to screen record from my phone and have footage of me rolling on the light cone banner. And since we are 35 into pity, hopefully it's going to go well and we win the 75-25 and get his signature light cone. But yeah.
Which one of you likes such sour?
So, what I wanted to do here is do a little account review of the teams that I currently have and what I had before. It's the ADHD. I am sorry. I will settle down.
My past is gradually coming to light. My past is gradually coming to light.
So that's E6 March. I'm just going to activate the eidolons that we get because it's going to be bugging me if I don't.
Ah, a visitor. Please let me show you some of our local hospitality.
Tinyun
Ah, a visitor.
is
Please let me
E6
show
as
you
well,
some of our local hospitality.
which is nice for us. And then we do have Yukong, who is
The
E3.
heavens are vast. The kite flies where it wishes.
So yeah, we did get some eidolons for us, which are pretty good. But yeah, let's do a little rundown on the characters that we had or have currently. Well, let's go from the past. I did lose a 50-50 on Himeko at least 3 times. No, at least 2 times. One time when I was going for Boothill, and one time when I was going for Jiaozhou. So that's E1, and I did select her as our pre 5-star character from the standard pool when the new version came out, which is really nice. She is technically not well built because by the end, well, by this time currently, I am not quite using her. But we did get her signature light cone, which is a pretty nice, well, a pretty decent 5-star stat stick. So we might be using this on other characters if we find it to be more beneficial for us. But yeah, she was our first carry who we used for quite a long time, with Gallagher as a support or sustain unit, and Harmony Trailblazer for Super Break. So yeah, I did and Jade as a buffer and sub DPS for her. So I did run a kind of hybrid break follow-up Himeko with this team. And I did use Dr. Ratio as well for quite a long time. He is not very well built right now, which is a shame because I would love to use him, especially with the fact that I am using him on a Feixiao team who is decently built with the Herta shop light cone. Traces maxed out, and I did farm a lot of his of these. I have no idea why my brain is not working properly right now, but I did farm a lot for these planner ornaments, and I did kind of craft most of these pieces. I don't believe I have farmed a lot for this set, the Winged Soaring Valorous set, which is her number one recommendation on the set. There are a few roles where I would have loved to get more crit rate or crit damage on her, especially here. Like on this crit damage piece, crit rate is one of the only good options for her, but I guess she is a little more tanky at the end of the day because of the HP percentage, so it is what it is. And then this one is actually pretty nice because that's high attack percentage, some decent crit damage, and at least one roll into crit rate, which is pretty good in my opinion. So this is, I believe, is her best piece on this set. And also this is a really good piece as well. So the head and the hands are really good on her. The others, I mean, it's a crit damage piece, so it's already decent with a crit rate roll, with at least one crit rate roll. So it's decent, but it can be further, improved. And also this, like, if this was attack percentage instead of HP percentage, it would have been so much better. Like, I wouldn't even be complaining about this piece if that was the case, but it is HP percentage, so I'm not quite happy about it. And the planner ornaments, this is my best wind piece here. Like, I don't even believe I have other wind pieces. Yeah, no, I don't. It's unfortunate. Like, these pieces, as much as I try to farm them. Relic RNG is just not nice to me. But yeah, so now that we are at Phainon and Dr. Ratio, I use Dr. Ratio, Phainon, Aventurine, who is our best shielder character, and Pela as a debuffer together. So it is a pretty high hit count follow-up team. And Aventurine is our sustain unit on the team. Not the best light cone for him. I do not have a 5-star light cone, but it does boost defense, which is his shielding stat, and it does give a little damage boost to his follow-up attacks based on the number of teammates shielded, which is nice. If it was a higher superimposition, I would be even happier, because that would be a bigger buff to his personal damage as well as his defensive capabilities. But yeah, this is one of our teams with Phainon, Aventurine, Dr. Ratio, and Pela. It's not the best team, but it is serviceable and I do enjoy playing it. And then we do have one of our strongest teams for now, which is the Herta, who is using the Herta Shop Erudition Light Cone. It's not her greatest match because she already has a lot of attack percentage boosting in his why am I saying his in her kit naturally. So she boosts her own attack a lot. So this is not her ideal light cone. However, not enhance. As I said before, we are not very great on light cones as an F2P player, and Night on the Milky Way is just not necessarily good or better for her, because it is also an attack boosting light cone, and it does have like a break element to it, which is ideal for Himeko, but not necessarily ideal for the Herta. So yeah, for now it is Eternal Calculus for her. But yeah, she is having 59.6% crit rate and 120, almost 120 crit damage, which is not the best crit damage stat for her. However, I do believe not Eidolon. Yes, one of her bonus abilities boosts her crit damage as well as other teammates' crit damage when you are using them with 2 or more erudition characters, which is the thing that I'm doing, because I use her with Jade, who is buffing the Herta's damage as well as gathering stacks to use for herself as well. And her stats are 65.5 crit rate to 111.5 crit damage ratio, which is very like deceptive, because when we are in game and she stacks up her trace,
Looks like this
is it her trace passive?
won't be returned.
No. Which one is it? I think it's this one. Yes, her talent. It's her talent. But yeah, she does get 80 from the Herta, and if she stacks up her talent, it gives her quite a lot of crit damage. So when the Herta is usually around 200 crit damage, Jade is around usually 250. Which is crazy. Because she gets a lot of crit damage between these two characters. So yeah, and you might be wondering, why is the Herta just on 60% crit rate? That's because while I do have a pretty decent relic set on her with pretty decent rolls, as you can see, this could be better. Actually, like, this could be better, and one might argue I should be using speed boots on her, but I will show you why I'm not currently. And these are her planner ornaments, which also could be, a little better. But I do use her with Sunday, who is going to give her 20% crit rate from his talent after using a skill on her, which is nice, using because that bumps us up to 70, and it's a way better crit ratio for us, and also gives her a lot of crit damage from from himself. So he does give crit damage to her as well. So what I said before about crit damage ratios is probably very, very wrong, and I'm remembering it very differently than I should. Because it might be 260, around 260 crit damage, that the one that I said for Jade, and Jade is even higher. Might be even higher. So Jade might be higher on crit damage than I said, or they might be on similar levels. I'm not quite sure, actually, now that I think about it. But yes, as a depth collector, Jade does give, like, how many or how much speed? 30, yeah. So as a depth collector, Jade gives the Herta 30 speed, which bumps her up to 150. Well, 159 speed, which is enough for Sunday, for the Herta to first round go before Sunday, and then Sunday can use his skill on the Herta to get her into another skill rotation. This is getting out of hand. I'm not quite sure if what I'm talking about is very much understandable at this point. So I'm going to try my best to get through this and then end on a different or decent, kind of a nicer note here. But yeah. So yeah, I use the Herta and Jade with Sunday, who is using, as I said before, Branya's signature light cone to help with skill point problems. And most of my characters' traces are maxed out at this point. I did get quite lucky with his set. Well, not really. I could, like, this one could use a little more speed, and this one could use a crit rate. Well, it does not need crit rate roll. Why am I talking about crit rate? This one could use one more crit damage roll instead of attack percent roll, just so he can give a little more buffing. But yeah, it's a pretty decent build, and I'm quite happy about it. It always could be better, but yeah. And then our final member is either usually Aventurine or Gallagher. For a really long time it was Gallagher, but for now, since I changed teams on Gallagher, I usually use this Deherta team with Aventurine, Jade, and Sunday. And for now, my strongest team, one of my strongest team was Deherta team, and the other one is my caster's team, who I talked before, is E1, which was very lucky. I am still very happy about it. Her relics could use a little more, work, but they are pretty decent, actually. I'm quite happy with how her stats turn out with these. So yeah, traces almost fully maxed out, almost. I do have these two waiting a little more, especially the crit rate one. I do believe until I min max her a little better, the crit rate bonus thingy is going to stay unleveled. Because yeah, she does have 67, but she does get a lot of crit rate from her 4-piece morning collapse. So yeah, she does have a decent build. Apart from her light cone. Her light cone is basically just a little more crit damage from the passive, because we did not get her signature. And sadly, there's, well, the new Battle Pass one seems to be a really good crit damage statistic, so it would be better than this one. However, as I said before, I am F2P, mostly F2P. I did buy the 30-day login thingy once, and I did kind of regret it, so not sure if I will ever do it again. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but for now I'm a pretty low spender, mostly F2P. But yeah, we do have Castoris, and Gallagher is our healer for this team, with Quid Pro Quo for some more energy regeneration for our teammates, maxed out traces. Relic set is not the greatest, especially with the fact that we still have a lot of crit damage when we need more break effect. For one, because he is a better, like, he is a good breaker, and he does do a lot of break damage if he can manage to break. And his healing also scales from his break effect, so yeah, a little more, well, a lot more break damage or break effect would be great on him. So relics are not great, but he does have E6, which is nice. And then we did get My Day, which I do not have on footage anywhere. I was very happy when I got it. I kind of had a low point between streams and like content creation and stuff, and I was like, I do not feel like I enjoyed creating stuff, but at the same time I do enjoy creating stuff, but I was just kind of at a low point, so I was like, whatever. I do believe that Bela and Gallagher were on his banner, so I was like, I'm just going to do like 30 pulls and hope for Eidolons for the 4 stars. And he just kind of came home out of nowhere. He was like, I'm here and you cannot do anything about it. So I was very happy about getting my day for us. He does have the event light cone from the Sound Hunt. Sound Hunt? What? I'm not quite sure. The DJ event with Rappa on Penacony. Yeah, it's from that event. It is R5, R5, S5. Superimposition. This is not Genshin. It is S5, and yeah, it gives her what is going on with these pronouns? It gives him a lot of crit damage and also HP. Trace is almost maxed out. His talent is still a work in progress. But seeing as I had Phainon coming up, most of my destruction materials were, saved for him. And then relics are pretty decent. I am quite happy with how he is right now. He could use a little more health just so we can break the 8,000 limit to get like the max amount of his passive going on. But yeah, it's a decent build and I'm quite happy about it actually. So yeah. No Eidolons though. The only 5-star character I have Eidolons on is Casteris, because we got very lucky. It was the anniversary luck. What can I say? And then Tribi is our last character here that I do want to talk about. She is my other very good support. So I do have Sunday and Tribi, and also in a sense Aventurine as well. But yeah, Tribi and Sunday are my best supports. She does have some crit rate and crit damage. To be fully used as a sub DPS, it would be nice to have a little better ratio on her. But I was going for a lot of HP percentage and somehow I didn't even make it that. So yeah, she does need some work to be done. She's currently using Dance, which would be nice to get her signature, but probably not on the cards for us. Trace is almost maxed out. We do have some stat bonuses here that we can work on to get more of, but these parts, like these materials, are kind of hard for me to get because I still didn't really start Penacony yet. We are just before the Penacony arc. We did just finish. What did I just say? So we did just finish Penacony. We are not before the Penacony arc. We did just finish the Penacony arc, and we are just about to start Amphorius, so that we can farm for these materials as well. However, as I said before, I'm going on a 2-week hiatus, at least 2 weeks. Probably going to be 3, if I'm being honest. Just to have a little more time. And yeah, relics, not the greatest here. This one is pretty good, actually. I was quite happy about this one. This is an HP one. It would be nice if that didn't go into defense, but more crit damage and crit rate. And then an HP piece here, which would be nice to go crit rate and crit damage, but it wasn't in the card for us. Yeah, I still need to do some farming on this as well. And then we have these pieces, but I was prioritizing my casters with the better pieces mostly. So yeah, Tribby is going to get her time to shine as well later on, but yeah. So that's my latest team, and I think that I did talk about this in one of my videos, but these are this one, the it's easier to show it in this view. The Casteris team, this Casteris team is my strongest currently, and also this Herta team is my other one. These are the two teams that I've been using to try and beat endgame. However, I did get Phainon, and for now, he is alone, but I will try to have a team similar to this, but instead of Harmony Trailblazer,
This is also what it means to trailblaze.
it will probably be Remembrance Trailblazer for the true damage and mem support for us. So yeah, this is the final team that I'm looking to get into, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we did get Phainon at the end of the day, and he is very beautiful, and I'm very, very quite happy about him coming home. This is not you. I'm sorry, the lights are not on currently in my room, and it's quite dark, so I cannot quite see my keyboard properly. But where is Phainon? Here is Phainon. The boy is home, and I'm very, very, very happy about it. Still working on, going to be working on our Jade situation and special pass situation so that we can get enough funds for his light cone, signature light cone in the future, and working for that special character light cone for Archer as well, which is quite a nice, like, now that I think about it, like Archer being a hunt character is quite nice. It's quite, fitting to have an archer on the path of hunt. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. But we now that I realize it, we do have a temple here, so I'm just going to do one less temple here. It's probably not going to be anything exciting because we did not get a 5-star here. But some more Eidolons would be nice, or some decent light phones to use. Boundless Choreo, I do not have a Nihility DPS character that I could use that on, because that is a Nihility DPS light cone, as far as I remember. But yeah. Anyways, I did not plan a lot of things for us today, but what I did has been accomplished. We did pull Phainon for us, for the account, and I did manage to level him up and some of his traces as well, which is really nice. We did get a Bronya as well to help later on support him in a fight. And what else did we do? I believe that was all we did. We did farm a little bit for some relics to give to Phainon, which are not great as far as we have gotten with them, but it's going to be fine. We still have some time to build him up and make him even stronger. So yeah, I do believe we had a decent stream for today. I hope you had a pleasant time. But yeah, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I want to say it again. My human is going for a vacation next week, meaning at least for 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks, we will not be having a live stream. Sadly, I will be working on honkaistarrail offline for that period on my phone and farm more jades and special passes so that we can get ahead and get Dust Burns the Dawn, which is Phainon's signature light phone, and maybe either an Eidolon for one of our support characters or a light cone. I'm still very much on the fence about it because, as I said before, I am FTP and I probably will not be able to gather all the funds that are needed for that big of an investment. But yeah, who knows what the future brings. I will be ruminating on it and I will be seeing you later. Probably 4 weeks from now is what I'm going to say. However, as I said before, the future is quite unknown. Wow. What a profound thing to say. It is getting very hot in my room right now, so sorry for the rambling, but yeah, vacation, yes. Offline grinding and farming, yes. What else? I did talk about probably screen recording polling sessions so that we do have footage of me hopefully getting. Definitely, I have to manifest, so I will be screen recording most of my polling sessions or all of my polling sessions so that we have footage of me getting Phainon's light cone, because we will be getting his light cone, I believe. Just like I believe during our polling session with Casteris on the anniversary, I believe that we are going to get Phainon's light cone as well. So yeah, that was number 3 on the list. And then I think for now, that's going to be it for today and for the foreseeable future. It is kind of weird. I might do like a. I don't know what I could stream, so I will probably not stream because I do not want to start the new Trailblaze mission to Amphorius. with such a break, such a long break coming up. So yeah, that's probably not going to happen. I might or might not do a small stream next week. Probably not. Please don't get your hopes up, if that's the right saying that I'm thinking about right now. But yeah, I think I should just stop here. So yeah, that was us for today. Thank you for joining. I hope you had a pleasant time. If you did, please leave a like. And if you want to stay updated with the channel, please consider subscribing. It helps out a lot. And with that, Avery out. Bye bye.